Hello and welcome to
Hello!
Myths and Mayhem, a TTRPG podcast with mostly accurate rules and inconsistent character voices. I'm Alex, your host and GM, and with me are our own Buddy and Joe, my wonderful players. How are you doing? So off time.
Why were you so panicked? Hello!
Because he's eating.
I just thought I'd have a bit of flair.
The thing that made it funnier for me is because I've got Joe like really turned down because of the eating. All I got was hello. It was the most panicked but most quiet hello I'd heard.
Very funny. Very funny. How are you doing?
I'm actually alright.
Good.
Did you?
Well, I'm glad we got that. Okay, you more.
Sorry, ADHD moment. Continue.
I was just gonna say I'm glad we got that bit covered.
Cool.
Did I?
Oh, I was gonna say, did you remind the other two that we leveled up and?
Fuck!
No. Cool.
That'll answer your question.
We needed. There are people who need reminders that we level up.
Okay, Joe, you've been playing with Purdy a very long time. Purdy needs a reminder.
Yeah, but Rowan said the other two.
Yeah, Mark as well, probably.
Yeah, but he doesn't know yet, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Purdy, do you know what system we play?
Friday.
You sure?
No. I wasn't till you asked me!
I mean, we kind of play a mixture of 5 and 5 point... What do they call it? 5.24? Whatever. Anyway.
I can't believe that you haven't asked where your father is.
You know...
What an uncaring son. Second week in a row.
You told me before we started this that this week it was super secret and that no one was allowed to know.
No. That is next week's where he is. This week we need to raise a public awareness.
All right, well then raise something.
You pre-plan where he's gonna be?
Someone does.
No, he just tells me. I'm not planning it.
Alright.
Why would I be planning where he goes? I'm not some sort of spy master unless I was.
You literally have told us
no.
that you have cameras in all of our homes.
Today, yeah, but you don't know where they are. Today is the 16th.
Today?
It's a Friday. And tomorrow happens to be Eurovision.
That is true.
Oh, yeah.
Now, unfortunately, the UK's act, Remember Monday, have had to pull out at the last minute due to being allergic to the French, and there were a lot of French people at Eurovision. And, you know, that's unfortunate and totally unforeseeable. So Mark has been drafted in last minute to be the UK's act for Eurovision. Now, of course, because it's last minute and he doesn't quite have the range of 3 women vocally, they have had to adapt an existing song because it's supposed to be an original song that you do at Eurovision. So he's doing a tribute act to Right Said Fred's most famous song, I'm Too Sexy for My Shirt. But because it needs to be original and because it's Eurovision, Mark will be performing a tribute to Right Said Fred, I'm Too Sexy for My Skirt.
I mean, it all makes sense. He does like to sing along on the podcast.
So, hence, raising awareness, watch Eurovision tomorrow. We can't vote for ourselves, but, you know, just watch it and then tell him that he did a good job afterwards.
It's unfortunate that this will be released after Eurovision, both on Patreon, which is a week earlier, but not early enough that it will be released before Eurovision, and, you know, on Podbean a week after that.
That's a good point. If you join the Patreon, you might get a picture of Mark in his costume.
I don't even want a picture of him in a costume. I'm not sure I can find one. Anyway, we have a recap. It's somewhat helpful. Go.
So rude.
Yeah, say it. Okay, well, you're muted now.
Oh, that's not even what I was talking about. That too.
Oh, another one coming in. What do we got this time? Just some low-level demon? Some kind of nightmare creature?
Oh, that's just boring. Any kind of fun story attached?
Kind of. Looks like you had a totem placed under a sacred tree so that it could infect the local populace with nightmares. More specifically, the children.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, some adventurers dug up the totem, had a hard time activating it, and when they did, they fought it in its own realm.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, it looks like they were helping out the town it was in. The deputy mayor asked them if she could keep some of the money to help the people, but the skeleton-looking one was a bit of a dick about it.
Fucking mortals and their obsession with money. I'll never understand it.
Especially since they could have found more riches than they'd ever need when they
What
were...
the fuck is that?
What?
The shadow thing over there?
I don't see what you're looking at.
What the fuck? It's coming towards us. How do you not see?
What the fuck is happening? What? Fuck. Who are you?
I'm sorry for the dramatic entrance. Your co-worker there was the easiest entrance into your realm.
You eviscerated him. Why?
I need access to the incoming remains of that demon.
What?
You see, I've been studying the mortals that killed it. They are so interesting to watch. And I wanted a souvenir.
You killed my friend for a fucking souvenir?
I wouldn't expect your simple mind to understand. But now that I'm here, you can help me.
Help you? How?
I keep finding myself rather low on power. You can help me acquire more.
What if I don't want to?
Oh, please don't misunderstand. I wasn't asking for your help. I was merely stating a fact.
What?
Now please, sit still. This will only take a minute.
What are you doing? No, 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 no! Right, so we start with you all aboard the Tainted Treant, having completed a wonderful quest, leveled up, and I believe having a little relax after such. It was just afternoon time.
With all of us, everyone.
Well, minus the captain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as you so rudely forgot.
Rowan's face.
For the second week in a row.
Birdie's. I saw your face earlier. Did you have a problem?
Yeah, I was starting to like the one with the bummy accent.
Problem, Rowan?
Fun little pirate campaign, right?
I feel. Did I successfully manage to psych you out of believing that that was going to be a really nice intro?
No.
Yeah. Rowan's nodding. Got just a nice little plinky piano. Anyway.
I do want a bummy NPC now.
Oh, you're right there. It's more Black Country, but yes.
Yeah, it is actually.
Anyway. Yeah, you are on the docks of Ithrin, which you may remember was a lovely, comfortable little town that you believed was all against you, but it actually turned out they're all just nice people. Pesto had a bit of history there. Everyone remembered Pesto and seemed to like Pesto quite a lot. And you saved all the kids, bar one, from a spiral-faced demon that wanted to invade all of their nightmares. Casual.
Yeah. We did a great job.
The plan that you had was to rest the rest of the day, sleep the night, and then in the morning head further up the river to the next town across, which is Ithir, which not many of you will know much about. I'm sure maybe Pesto has gone past it, but doesn't know too much. So, is there anything that you'd be doing in the afternoon, evening, and night?
Oh boy.
Conversations?
Oh, I'm hard at work. Not a single conversation had except with my toys.
You're hard at work with your toys, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm making
This
a
is
new
why
one.
we need an HR person.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I am HR.
This is why we
Oh,
need a
wait,
new HR person.
HR doesn't stand for hard resources.
As I was saying, I'm making a new toy and modifying my existing one.
Mm-hmm.
The new addition is Parm the Captain as a stand-in for our actual captain while he's away.
Fair enough.
It is a little man on a wooden boat who's standing with a sword out. They also have some brand new enhancements. Lem, now instead of carrying his little wooden knife, he's carrying a little wooden pistol.
Of course.
Gave him the modification of pea shooter. Says ranged attacks now, and instead of seeing through Lem's eyes, Lem now does more damage because I wasn't really doing a lot of that, and Olive's already good at that.
Wonderful.
Basil the dragon. Sorry, did you have something to add, sir? Yeah.
That's Lem, isn't it?
No, Lem is a sheep, not a cat.
Well, they sound the same.
Sure. Basil the dragon now does more damage and also explodes
Noise.
What?
once per use of that ability. Yeah, and then I have to remake them.
And you'd need a new gem to remake them?
No, not the toy. I need time to remake them. And Pine Nut the woodpecker can actually fly now. They also do a bunch of damage, and they are speedy, so they are like an actual little woodpecker flying around and pecking the shit out of things. Parm, since they are a boat, they can go across water. They've got cannons on that ship, and oh yeah, I forgot to mention that they also have a swarm of accompanying tiny ships with them.
Of course, a little fleet.
Yes, a little.
Palm is a boat.
Parm
No,
the
he's
captain.
a man in a boat.
Yeah, he's a man in a boat.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the confusion is.
Yeah, what's
Listen,
wrong?
we were having animals, boat.
Yeah, I needed a replacement for the captain.
Man in a
Where's
boat.
the meerkat? Which one's the meerkat?
Olive. That's the
Have you-
homunculus. They're
Have
not.
you
They're
remade her?
they're not technically a toy.
They're a mere
This
bat.
just tells me that none of you understand the function of a first mate.
Yeah.
No, we do.
They just disagree with you being the first mate.
I will also have to remake Olive during this rest, and I'm switching out. I switched out some spells as well, but we can wait until that becomes relevant.
Okay.
That's me.
Have we had the rest, or have we not had the rest yet?
Not to this point, because this would be the rest of the day.
Okay.
Is there anything the two of you are doing the rest of the day? Exploring the town anymore? Building things, making things? Going somewhere?
I believe we were planning on staying the night, but asked nicely to not be in the town again, or at least Ozzy to not be in the town anymore.
Yeah, which is very ungrateful of them, considering that we just saved all of their children.
Yeah, it's so
Um,
ungrateful. I wonder why they do that after we save them. Yeah.
No, it's weird. Just it's
Yeah,
a bizarre
so-
response. And actually, perhaps that needs some
Yeah.
investigating. Perhaps Mr.
Perhaps we
Mumps
just
has
stay in the,
brainwashed
Oh, here we go again.
the deputy mayor because I was so suspicious of him.
Yep. Perhaps.
No, I will do. We left the ship unattended, aside from pumpkin spice latte for the most part.
Mhm.
So I will do some safety checks and inspections around
Cool.
the inside and the outside, and the top and the underneath of the ship.
Give me an investigation.
17.
17. Other than the collection of barnacles which inevitably grows on the bottom of the ship, there is nothing out of place. I'm sure you go along cleaning off some of those barnacles just to
Oh.
keep the ship in
Yes,
tip-top.
then I will absolutely clean off the barnacles.
Just have something to do.
I'd say the only thing off with the ship currently is the places where it's had to be patched up and fixed up because of the captain's somewhat wayward driving
Mhm.
are a slightly different color because the wood isn't perfectly matched and hasn't been stained the same. It's all works fine. There's no issues. It just doesn't look perfect. But other than that, it's all good.
Okie dokie.
Nippy.
Niffy's probably just in the kitchen experimenting on bits and pieces.
Yeah, you've got a fresh supply of herbs, which you'll know will last a few days. It's not like a huge amount in there, but you've got a few days worth of herbs.
We
Mhm.
restocked. Oh, that yes,
Yeah.
the other.
Yeah.
I was about to say, we
Although-
literally just restocked.
You restocked from a town where it is legal, so there may be more than just a few days in there of supply.
Yay.
You know, you're a bit
Cheap.
upset that you've only got this bag and it's going to run out, and then as you're looking through the stocks to just see what food's been put on to see what meals you're going to be making, you open up a smaller box and you're just like, oh, sweet.
Fuck yeah, we're coming here again.
So yeah, it's not a crazy amount, and it probably isn't the same quality as what you were gifted initially, but hey, Niffy cares for what Niffy cares for.
Mm-hmm.
Evening goes by, you rest up the night, and unless you plan to do anything different of the night, you wake up probably fairly early in the morning, the sun's having not risen, ready to be on your merry way. The air would be fairly cold. As you're aware, this part of the world doesn't get too warm. It's not as cold as down in the south of Carmanthia, but it is not a blisteringly warm area in any way, shape, or form. You would be aware, though it probably wouldn't make too much difference to you, that you're going to be ever so slightly... wait, are you? Yeah, I need to open the map. Going up to Ithiri or not, it's O2, the one after that you'd be going into Carmarthia. But you would be aware that it's going to be probably, because of the current going the opposite direction, about a day and a half's travel. It's not too far to go, but about a day and a half's travel till you'll be in the larger part of what is called Lake Merifen. But Lake Merifen is massive. It's like if you were in the center, you wouldn't see any land kind of size. If you've ever seen it on the map, it is absolutely huge, and you're vaguely aware that Ethia is placed on top of it. It's a floating city. Not floating like Hydra is, floating on the water. So, if you set off, you'd be aware that if it's going to be a day and a half, you'd have a full day's travel before probably having to anchor up. Or if you really wanted to, you could go late into the night and arrive probably about midnight, early hours of the morning to Ether. It's up to you, really, because it's quite early in the morning.
Personally, I'd say anchor up.
Sure.
We
First
never
mate.
ended up getting a tender, did we? We didn't manage to steal one.
What?
Like a little rowboat or something for us to get from the ship to other places. Like if we wanted to anchor
Yeah,
a little
we
bit further
got
away,
that.
we'd have to like swim over.
To skip over what could be information, you'd be aware that you are around currently a fishing village. There are tons of boats everywhere, so most likely you could rent a boat if you wished to. There's a varying size of boats. Not many of them are made for going out to sea, but a few of them are rowboats. A few of them actually do have some little engines on them. They'd be much slower than your big ship on the main sea because you've got the big sails and such. But going upriver, it could actually be faster, if not the same, to just hop on one of those things and put up the up the river. But you'd also be very aware, your navigational mind, Niffy, the main boat would be fine to get all the way up to Moonhaven.
Yeah.
The river is wide enough and deep enough.
We don't really need a boat then, do we? We just got our own.
Yeah, so it's more been in the back of my mind that we should get one at some point for
get one
for
at
the
some
use
point.
of going into coves and
Yeah.
stuff. So we could either steal one or buy one or build one.
You'd probably been told by Pesto as well that you currently have no way of attaching it to your boat. So you could just string it on the back, but you don't have like a hoisting system to like hold it onto the
That's
side
true.
or the
We
back,
need-
which you would need
We need to
to
get you to build some davits.
So, and that would all be costs, which you're not sure how much that would come to. You would assume somewhere around for a boat and the what I have not heard before, but I assume the term for the things that cling them onto the ship and such are called davits. You'd probably assume that whole thing would come to somewhere between 20 and 30,000, depending on the size of the boat and the quality of the
That is a lot.
winches and such.
Rowan, you can't use an infusion to make a foldable boat, can you? That'd be very handy.
I don't believe so.
I mean, there's a chance you could get it cheaper elsewhere, like you are going to Moonhaven, which has a lot of black market stuff, but you just have no idea. You're certainly not going to get it done here. You could buy a boat here, but you wouldn't have anyway. Like I said, you could get a big rope and just attach it to the back.
Why would Moonhaven have black market stuff?
Because it's black market town.
What are you talking about?
Yes, you certainly could buy a boat. It might be cheaper here, just like a simple rowboat or something, and then get a couple ropes, attach it to the back, and it would just sort of trail behind you. You wouldn't have any control, but you could do that right now.
No, I feel like I'll get yelled at if I steal a boat from here.
Yep.
We don't need one for security or medical purposes right now, so it can wait.
So you stare longingly at the rowboats and the fisher boats as you sail off up river. So, if you are anchoring, there is an entire day of maybe 8 or 9 hours. Well, it's probably around 7 in the morning, so you could go as long as you wanted, really. The amount of time it will take to travel, I will break it down for you. If you set off at like 8 in the morning, it'll go all the way to about, let's put a hard line on 12 midnight. So that is 16 hours of travel. Is my math
Yes.
right? Yes.
Yes, 24 minus 8. 16.
Yeah, I was just trying to do it the other way around, which makes less sense than what you said. So it's 16 hours of travel, so it's up to you how long you travel for.
If
We leave at
do-
first light, because we had an easy.
But if we do
First
10
light-
hours, then 6
First
hours.
light is about 10 a.m.
There you go.
The workday tends to
Doesn't
start.
make sense to leave in the dark in an area we don't know.
But then,
So true.
so if sun up is at 10, when sun down?
About 5 or 6.
Then recommended plan: full day of day sailing
Yeah.
because we don't know the area, and the longer we take to get there, the more time that the captain has to catch up, as he's presumably going on foot.
Yeah, so we'll do 8 hours today and then 8 hours tomorrow, because then that would be the basically light.
Yeah. So the halfway point would get you into Lake Merifan. You'd probably go up closer to the edge of the lake just so you can anchor up a bit easier. It's a very deep lake. But yes, you can travel that. One question. Who's sailing the boat?
I
am.
want to.
Oh, okay. Do you have proficiency with it?
Probably not.
I do.
Then I am, because I do have proficiency.
I got cartographer tools.
No, that's not it.
That is what helps you navigate.
Yeah. No.
That's what
also
helps
means
you
I
make
can
maps.
No, that means I can drive the boat.
No, a water vehicle proficiency would mean you can drive the
No.
boat. Yeah.
The cartographer
Yeah.
tools. It literally says cartographer tools in brackets. Drive the tainted saint.
Sure.
But we're talking about driving the tainted treant, so sorry.
I thought we were tainted. Oh yeah, we changed it to tainted treant. Okay, drive the boat in brackets.
Okay.
Yeah, we
no.
believe that that's what you're seeing in front of you. I will be
Yeah.
driving.
Okay, in which case, let's have a navigational. I believe it's been survival that I've been asking for from your navigation officer.
That would be 28.
Okay, and a water vehicles proficiency roll from
Am I using a stat or just a roll plus proficiency?
That would be a 6.
roll plus proficiency.
No, I drive the boat.
I'd like to see you push away your main tank.
That is
That's going.
that is an 11, but I will. Is that a failure?
An 11.
If it is, I
it's
have
not
a
a
thing
failure,
I can
but it
do.
will cause damage.
Am I able to use my thing that I can do on a failure?
What is the wording of your reroll?
It's on a failure, but I'm
that's fine,
actually, let me check. Is it on a failure?
I wasn't sure if it's on a melee failure or a skill check or there's all sorts of different terminology.
Where is it? Tactical mind. When you fail an ability check, there you go.
Yeah, and this is.
If the check still fails, it doesn't use it.
Does this count as an ability check? I mean, I'm going to say you can re-roll it because that's fine. I'm not going to, but because it doesn't use your ability stats.
The way you're running it, no, it would be a skill check, not an ability check.
Yeah.
Skill checks are usually ability checks, but I'm happy not
yeah.
to be able to do it.
So I'm going to let you re-roll this because that's fine. It's just
But it's an
wording
adding
of it.
thing.
It's technically
It's
'cause it
a
doesn't use your ability,
15.
it's funny. A 15 is just enough on the money because it's quite an open port. That Pesto, stress-inducing, but you do not hit the dock as you go past. There's a few fishing boats that you don't see as you're just plowing forwards that manage to scarper out the way just in time, rather than you plowing straight through them. But you do manage to set sail and using the wonderfully navigationally proficient mind of Niffy upriver.
Sorry about that. I've usually only done ocean sailing. It's been a little while since I've done a river and anything larger than a little fishing boat.
And this is why you should let me do it.
I was under the impression that I'd be in trouble if you crashed us into one of the fishing boats.
And why would I crash us into a fishing boat?
Because you're a navigator and not a not a driver, not a
I
pilot.
can navigate us, so why can't I drive us?
Because you do it on the maps. I don't know if
No
you've
one
ever
ever
noticed
trusts
that
me to
your eyes tend to
drive.
point off in different directions. So your
That's
depth
only when I get
perception's not that great.
sleepy.
I think that's why Pumpkin's eyes do that, because he's copying you.
Look, that's only when I get sleepy, okay?
I like to imagine that you start pointing because if it I think we brought it up before, but I'll restate. It's not just like a classic pirate ship where there's the wheel and that's it. It's more of a
There's levers and
cruise ship kind of control panel, just a bit smaller than that, which sits in front of you with all sorts of levers and buttons and and throttles and such. So I imagine you're just like pointing at things like, "What's that?" And Nifty's like, "I don't know."
And if there's any buttons, Niffy's going, "Can I press that yet?"
Or if you want to, when we've got like a lot of time on a long passage and the captain isn't like manning the helm, I'd be more than happy to put in some time to teach you if you'd like to learn how to do that.
Yes, I am learning to cruise this ship.
Sure, I mean, like, that is then a lot of work for you to do all the navigating and then all the driving, because none of the rest of us can navigate as far as I'm aware.
No, it means I can be a one-man band with spinach.
That would be 2 people in a band?
I can be a one-man band with spinach.
But so when are we going to get there?
5 minutes into the journey. The journey inland up the river. The environment changes a little bit, but not unexpected. So the entire time you can see there is a road on your left, which is the north of the river. It's a fairly simple road, mostly dirt. Every now and again there's some paving, but it's mostly just a beaten and trodden path that's been at some points covered in sand and various other things just to sort of keep it mostly not a big pile of mud. And as you step away from Ithrin, away from the coast, away from the beaches and such, it gets a little bit more dense with forest until eventually, towards the latter part of the day, as you get to the mouth of Lake Medifern, there's a very dense forest appearing on the northern side of the river. The southern side, less so. There's still trees and stuff around, but there's this think of like a European forest. It's not like a rainforest or anything. Very oak trees, pine trees, that kind of stuff. Quite a dense.
A Eurovision forest, you say? Is there a man losing his skirt in there?
Indeed. You just see a skirt hanging off off a tree. As you enter into Lake Medifern, it is very, very impressive. This large and quite still blue lake. It almost feels as though the lake gets a bit more crystal blue as you enter it, or that might just be the density, the amount of water that is beneath as the suns set gently in the distance. And that would be about when you'd be deciding to stop off for the day. Would you have used those? How long did you say? You said you go from 10 till 6, so yeah, 8 hours. Use those 8 hours for anything else?
I'm just baking some brownies.
Okay.
I would just be keeping watch while piloting.
Well, you'd have to be fairly on. Like, in the seas, you can kind of let it do its thing a little bit more, but on the river, you're going to have to be fairly attentive, because it does...
Yeah, that was why I was thinking I'm staying at the helm the whole time rather than...
Yeah. You'd be, adjusting the sails and such constantly, because the change of the wind and trying to go upstream is difficult, but it's a bit harder than open sea, Besto? A curious face.
I'm thinking of things. I was thinking if I was going to make ammunition that could hold vortex warp, would it have to be 2 pieces of ammunition? One to set where you're warping to, and one to trigger the warp?
So vortex warp obviously is a self spell that you can select a target and you get teleported there. Yes. So what I would say is I will allow you to do one of 2 different things. Either pick an ammo category and make 2 of whatever is beneath that. So it would sort of have to be like a bullet or something. So you could do the spell cost for like a bullet. Although actually no, I've forgotten how this works. The point is, you can do it as 2 or you can do it as 1. You just have to set the rules early as to how it's happening. If you were to do it on 1 piece of ammo, it would be 30 feet to a random spot. You could say
where it's going instead.
Yeah, like behind cover. You'd have to be fairly general, but you can be like little specks of specific if you wanted to be like 30 feet upwards, if possible, sort of thing. So, but if you wanted to say, I'm going to do it as 2 different, pebbles or 2 different bullets, then I'd say you'd have to probably fire them within the same round. Within a round, so you can fire it yourself twice, but it would have to be fairly quick within that 6 seconds, because, that's how the spell works. So, what level is the spell?
I'm now looking at a 3rd level.
Okay. Well, a 3rd level takes a week, half the time for you, but it takes a week, 500 gold, and you can do the smallest ammo type is a small ammo, so you couldn't do it on like a ball bearing or a pebble. It would have to be at least an arrow, a bolt, or a bullet.
I I'm going to start working on a hypnotic pattern bullet for Niffy.
Okay. Hypnotic pattern going on, and what do you expect to happen? Just when you fire, where it impacts is where the hypnotic pattern.
It's an AoE thing, so anybody within that AoE then has to make a save.
Centered on where the bullet hits.
Yes.
Wonderful. Write that down, obviously. But yeah, you start working on it. So obviously it takes a week, which would be 7 consecutive 8-hour periods. So just keep a note of that, and obviously costs 500 gold.
Half a week.
Yeah. So for you, so instead of it being 8 times 7, it would be 8 times 3.5.
28.
Having heard you kind of banging away in the base of the ship that evening, Ozzy would have said if you had any ideas about the explodey stones that we found and kind of augmenting our ship weaponry with them.
I haven't. No, not. I haven't yet. But it'll probably take a lot of money if we're going to incorporate it into the ship.
Oh, shame that we've got 1,000 less than we might have had then.
A 500 less?
Oh, we probably could have extorted a bit more money out of it.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying.
The only way to know if someone's telling the truth when they say this is all of our money is to, like, check that they haven't got any more money. And we didn't do that, so...
I don't know how to help you, Ozzy.
I mean, upgrading the ship's weaponry would be very helpful.
That's...
as my role as bosun, with keeping everyone safe and the safety of the ship in its battles.
I will keep that in mind, in the back of my mind, for how I may do that.
Nice. Ripper!
Niffy, I'm sure you can hear this, like, below whilst you're cooking.
She'll shout down that dinner's ready and to get their asses upstairs now.
Sure, you make a lovely... What's for dinner? Simple foods, because obviously it's a simple fishing town, probably involves fish.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe a fish pie or something.
Fish pie with some lovely potatoes on top. Oh, fish pie is in, like, the mashed potato on top, or fish pie is in actually in a pie? Yes. So, fish pie, potato topped. Probably very lovely. Very fishy, but, as would be expected. There's not a variation of fish. It's mostly the same kind of fish. But it's tasty nonetheless. Well, I mean, Ozzy doesn't really eat, so it's tasty nonetheless.
I would never eat any of your food.
I don't know. The burnt bits she gives to you just so you can crunch them.
Yeah, I'm sure you've got some like burnt ends of things because you have said previously you like the texture.
I'll just put them in the bin unless he decides otherwise.
I thought you liked crunchy things.
Yeah, it was canon that you grabbed like random crunchy bits from the crypts because you like crunching on things.
It was no, I think it was a gummy thing that I picked up.
No, because this is because you were eating Pringles.
Bones.
You were eating Pringles, and they were like, "Where did you get those crisps?" And you're like, "Oh, I just picked up some random stuff from the crypt."
Oh, yes, that was not intended to be canon. That was just because I was eating Pringles.
It's now canon, and I'm sorry, but Niffy's trying to do something fucking nice for you, so fucking accept it, you piece of shit. In the nicest way possible.
I mean, it is Ozzy.
Has gone unrecognised.
Pesto and Niffy have a lovely little meal together. I'm sure the bits of the fish that you cut off, they went to pumpkin spice latte. Happily ate all of the little bits, bones and all. Yeah. A good evening and a restful night. Are you putting on a watch or are you just going to trust the anchor?
Watch.
Okay. There's only 3 of you, so unless you include... Actually, no, that is a lie because Ozzy only needs to sleep for 6 hours. You do not need those extra 2 hours. So you can rest, power down for 4, and then low power for 2. So.
Yes. And I can still see and hear everything when I am resting.
So, everyone, individually, give me some perceptions whilst you watch in the night. Who is first?
8.
8. It's not a great perception, but possibly because you might have had too much of the brownies. But you have a nice evening staring up at the stars, the belt overhead twinkling away, the sound of the river gently trickling past the boat, probably a mixture of really nice until it makes you really want to pee. But you don't see anything out of sorts during the evening. You just have a nice relaxing time looking over the side, feeling the breeze. Maybe once a ship goes past, I mean, like a fishing boat or two, like small boats go past. They seem completely uninterested in you as they sail on past, and you are uninterested in them.
She'll just wave and be like, "Evening."
Yeah, I'm sure there's a little wave as they go past. They're obviously fishermen of some kind
British
moving
thing
up the
she
river.
can do,
Yeah.
even though she's not actually British.
One of them is a boat which is tugging an entire second boat full of fish. You were told that they sell fish upriver, so obviously
Nigel!
just transporting. Okay. Who do you wake up for second watch?
Who wants to go second?
Ozzy would usually be last, just
Well-
to allow you lot to do the best sleeping.
She'll go wake up.
I don't understand this face from
Village.
Pesta.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't want to wake up.
Oh, you don't have to.
No, it's fine. Whatever. I rolled a 10.
I see, that's why you don't want to wake up. Yeah, you're woken up. You're groggy. It was a very hard day. And you then proceeded to not rest. You proceeded to then work on a bunch of toys, and then the entire time during the day. So working on toys last night, had a sleep, but then the entire time during the day you were working on magic ammo, and that just takes a lot out of you. So you're very groggy. But again, not much. It is quite calming having the trickle of the stream, the wind blowing by, the stars in the sky. Nothing much happens. You'd be taking the second watch, so early hours of the morning. No boats go past. There's some lights in the very distance from the town you've come from. You can just see a glow, and the town you're going towards, you can see a glow. It just floating on the lake. But there's a few lights, and they tend to just sort of go out. Some people staying up late,
We're being raided. No.
but nothing particularly happens. And then eventually you go poke Ozzy and get the last couple hours of your sleep.
24.
You, plain as day, can see the lights behind as they flicker on in the early hours of the morning. Some people obviously going out to fish, and the lights are ahead for probably the same reason. The only other things that are of note, other than some boats going past, again in the early hours of the morning, would be to the north. Obviously you have now a path and quite a dense forest. You're aware that you, at one point for just about an hour, there was a fire lit. Maybe someone cooking something or something along those lines. It wasn't a very big fire. It wasn't like a forest fire starting, and it was snuffed out either naturally or someone did that. But the trees were too dense to see any people. It was just the glow bouncing between the trees that you could see just north of the path. But other than that, nothing alerts you.
Okie dokie.
Okay. And then you've only got another 8 hours worth of travel to go, which would mean you'd... it would now be, if you've slept, again, early hours, the suns haven't risen, so you can either wait a couple hours and then travel in the light, or you can just set off. You're on the lake, so the chances of crashing into the side are much, much lower, and you can see the lights ahead as to where you're going.
You're the driver at the moment.
Yeah. We shall head off. Doing the safest way possible.
Sure. Then I'm not going to make you roll for it, because you're literally in the middle of a lake. You just pull up the anchor and go. There's nothing to crash into. And you head over towards Ethier. Now, Ethier is like I said, a floating town. I will give you the description in a second. You would have got to it at about 4 p.m. So the suns are starting to set, but have not quite set yet. And as you move over, I shall read out this description. Hidden in the calm waters of Lake Merifen, cradled entirely by the flow of the fiery river, floats the quiet and verdant town of Ether. From a distance, it appears as a scatter of wooden walkways and reed-grown platforms connected by bridges and canoes, yet within it is a thriving community of balance and care, rooted in tradition, but moving with the water. I'm going to give you a little bit of the extra flair, because again, Pesto would have been through this town. Originally founded by a circle of druids, Ither remains a town guided by nature. Its homes are built from driftwood, willow, and shaped living trees. Moss and herbs grow on rooftops, and waterfowl nest unbothered beside doorways. No stone roads, no carts, only boats, flat barges, and walkways suspended by buoyant reeds or stilts. Rather than fishing or hunting, Ither sustains itself through floating farms, carefully tended beds of aquatic vegetables, herbs, and grains that are harvested and traded along the river, particularly to Ithrin, Otu, and Moonhaven, but with some trade moving further into Carmanthia. These farms are a source of both livelihood and pride, worked with care, and often blessed under the light of the belt. The bits that you would know, Pesto, in addition to any of that, it wasn't anywhere near as personable as Ithrin was. Like, they weren't nasty to you, but it was more you went in, had a bit of a drink, maybe stayed over in the tavern, and then moved on. Like, no one particularly made an effort to get to know you, no one particularly needed anything from you, so you moved through fairly quickly, maybe a couple days if you wanted to just rest up. But you didn't get, like, the same nice reception that you had in Ithrin.
Oh, okay.
So, you don't really know anyone. People might recognize you. Again, you're quite recognizable, but there's no one that you're going to go to and be like, ah, yes, this person. You would, however, be aware that the only inn, or what could be called an inn, is the Green Marsh Inn, which is just quiet inn built on the central floating platform.
It's in there.
Yeah. In terms of docking,
Yeah.
you can either go to the north or to the south. Effectively, if you look on the map, if you ever had, the road that is to the north, going from Ithrin into the land, eventually cuts to a bit of a junction that goes directly south into the lake, which then has a pier, which you could then get to Ether, and on the other side there is a pier that then goes to the road on the other side. So effectively, the road stops and goes straight through Lake Merrifen, but you have to take a boat across to Ithir and then across the other side. So you can dock on either the north or the south side. It's up to you. It doesn't make much difference particularly. You'd probably, in terms of like continuing up the river, want to go for the north side because it's just less traveling around later.
To the north, then.
That one, then.
Yeah, then yeah. Wonderful. Then you just go up to... Again, it's just a few docks. It's less like organized docks coming out because the whole thing is kind of just like a set of docks. So you just sort of put your anchor down somewhere that you can put down your gangplank, and that seems fine. You have to tie up to the actual city because obviously it floats and moves a little bit, so it's just for that stability. But there's all sorts of rubber bits and pieces along the pier to make sure that any bashing that would have happened would be controlled. But as you park, could you please make a water vehicle handling to see how smoothly that goes?
That is a 12, but if I'm able to do the same thing again...
Yeah.
That is a 21.
21, you're fine. Yeah. Having got back into the feel of things, you park up perfectly fine. There are some people on the pier to sort of just grab your ropes and tie them up. Very classic style. You aren't really in need of refilling because you obviously did that just. The only thing that you could get here is a night's sleep, which you could do on your own, or you could get a drink in the inn and stay there. It's really up to you.
We can go take a look at the shops.
Shop time.
Yeah. So you'd be, Pesto, very aware that this isn't a town that has the same kind of setup as a lot of towns. There are shops, but there isn't like, oh, let's go to the magic shop. Oh, let's go to the library. It's mostly just a bunch of buildings, and you can search around and try to find some things, but there's nowhere near as much of like a central mall type thing to go to. You know, you could seek out some trinkets and things. You could seek out food if you wanted to, and you could certainly seek out to see if anyone has any magical items, but they're not particularly known for that kind of thing. They certainly don't have any blacksmiths, you know, or at least none.
We could just walk around with detect magic on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fairly large town. It would still take an hour or two to walk across, but you know, you can just keep redoing doing that and walk around. It's up to you as the sun's set, or you can go to the inn, ask any questions there. There is also the Willow Hall, which is just like the main structure. The Council of Elders meet there. It's kind of like a town hall. There's obviously the farms around the outside, but they wouldn't really be of much interest to you unless you want to steal some veg. And then, the ports at the north and the south.
I'm not bothered.
Any preferences for any of that, gang? Do we want to see if we can check in on one of those, like, sort of bounty outposts? If they might have one here?
That would be a good point.
See if anyone has been seen in the area or might have checked in themselves in Moonhaven?
Monty.
Sure, may as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have a wander around then, Alex. Keep an eye out for that symbol that denotes the kind of bounty house.
Sure. Are you putting on your detect magic, or are you just not going to bother with that?
I have to restart
I'm-
every 10 minutes.
I'm happy to just mug someone.
Why? No.
It's really up to you.
And if you don't
not
think
for
we're going to
no
need
reason.
the spell slots, if you are able to do it that way, then we can just do.
I'm not able to do it that way.
Cool.
I can only do it ritually.
That's all right. Oh, do you know what? I have find treasure on, so I will. What is a kind of magic item that we don't currently have that has a vague description?
Folding boat.
Holding boat.
Holding boat. Yeah. Okay. Great. I will find treasure, Alex. And the item. Oh wait, hang on. Is it blocked by water? That would be bad.
I think an amount of
It
water. I know
is-
that it was like a certain amount of each
No.
thing.
Yes, it is not water. That is the find person one. So I will find treasure for folding boat.
Okay.
So if there's one within 1,000 feet,
Within 1,000 feet, you do not find any.
Damn it.
Wow,
Any
lame.
folding boats. There's certainly
want a
boats
folding boat.
around, fishing boats and rowing boats and things, some of which seem more permanently attached to the whole structure. It does feel as you walk around as though if people want to expand, they don't. Sometimes they, properly construct part of the city and such. Other people are just like, I'm gonna just get a fucking boat and like tie it on and then build a house on it. Like it's very shambly. But as you're looking around for the bounty symbol, which to remind the people listening and possibly you if you have forgotten, is a circle with 2 other circles at the top right and some lines going from the top right to the bottom left, you do actually see a little bit of that attached to the side of the Green Marsh Inn, the main tavern of the city.
Nice.
Ozzy would remember the password. Joe does not.
You would remember, at least the last time you went in, the password was, "The lemons of winter are not so sweet."
Cool. Then we'll head inside. And does anyone want to do their best kind of noir detective story-esque slide up to the bar, tip of the hat to the barman, and say the phrase?
But
You're best at that one.
Bar
it-
lady.
I thought this was. I thought these doors were just like doors in an alleyway. We don't talk. We like go up to the door.
So interestingly, that was what it was in the first time you saw it when you were in completely forgotten the name of it. Cell. This isn't a door with a symbol on it. It's just the symbol is like carved into the side of the Green Marsh Inn.
Oh,
There's no like extra door.
crazy. I'm not going to do that now.
Petty, do you want to do that?
Does Niffy look like the type to do that?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, sure, I can do it.
Were you just looking for validation here? Is that all it was?
Yeah.
I think it was the lemons of winter are not so forgiving,
They certainly aren't.
Not so sweet.
not so sweet. But you could say not so forgiving and see what happens. Just get it wrong on purpose.
So, I shall describe to you the Green Marsh Inn. The Green Marsh Inn sits on one of Aether's older floating barges, a crooked moss-covered building with a warped green roof, faded painted shutters, and a heron-shaped weather vane that is bent, and therefore never pointing in the correct direction. Anybody close by, which would be you currently, will note the smell of mint and damp timber that drift from its usually open doors, a homely smell to the locals. Inside, the inn feels lived in, but not unloved. The circular main room dips gently towards the centre, where the sturdy hearth glows with a low fire. Wagon wheel chandeliers sway slightly from the water's motion, casting warm light over mismatched tables and carved chairs. Strange marsh plants sit in hanging baskets, and old taxidermy frogs watch from the walls. A half-moon-shaped bar curves through the left side, manned by, that you don't know the name of, the barmaid. A sharp-eyed dwarven innkeeper who, and this would be evident when Pesto walks in, never forgets a face. or a tab. A spiral stair hugs one corner, leading to a creaky upper floor with small guest rooms and a narrow balcony overlooking the common room. As you walk in, Pesto, you don't remember the name of this barmaid, but she looks over and goes, I remember you.
What?
It has been a while, but
Yeah.
I do remember. It is Pesto.
You're right. I'm sorry to say I don't remember you.
It is okay. I am Brilda.
Brilda?
Brilda.
Brilda. Like Hilda,
Brilda.
but Brill.
As you've walked in here, you remember something. It comes back to you very quickly and potentially makes you quite upset, depending.
Oh, no.
I'll let you decide on that. You remembered. Ether is a dry town, which is ironic for the fact that it's floating, but they do not serve alcohol.
Oh.
There is no alcohol legally allowed. You can have it on your ship because you are travelers, but you are not allowed to bring it on land, and you are not allowed to drink it in the city.
That's bollocks, that is.
You would remember that this place boasts a fine selection of flavored teas, various fruit drinks, and are very notably known for their vegetable stew.
I do say they don't serve alcohol here.
What?
And Broda looks over and says, I am sorry about this. It is the rule of the town.
What do you serve instead?
Oh, we have lots of flavored teas, fruit drinks.
Teas?
Lots of teas, yes. Coffees if you wish. Some food as well if you wished for that.
Definitely food. I'm interested in food. Tell me what teas you've got.
Oh, all sorts. Whatever you would like. I'm sure we have it. We keep a good stock. The more rare ones will be more expensive, of course, but
Don't worry about price. I just want anything.
our most common is a mint tea. We like to have some herbal teas in the range of lavender, chamomile, all sorts. You name it, we probably have it.
Give me a minute, I'll think.
Okay, and for our armored friend here.
Oh, nothing for me, thanks. Hey, you were wondering, and he'll like nudge Niffy. You were wondering about like a winter lemon.
No, I'm not feeling lemon. I think that'll be a bit too tart.
You were talking about it a lot. Do you maybe want to ask?
No, I think I might go. The mint one sounds good.
Yeah, we do have some lemon teas. We do have lemon teas if you would like.
You said you'd heard something about it. Do you maybe just want to ask about that for clarification?
I personally like a lemon and ginger tea.
Oh, the lemon and ginger sounds really good. Yeah, I'll go for the lemon and ginger, please.
I will get right on that.
What kind of lemon is it?
I do not know. Local.
What was it grown in the winter?
Why does that matter?
Probably more recent than that would have been the winter.
I just you were saying earlier, Niffy, about the lemons of winter.
I don't remember talking about any lemons.
Oh, okay.
Ozzy, you've lost it. You've left your brain on the ship.
Oh, we've been over this before. I haven't had my brain for quite a long time. It fell out.
It's clearly showing.
But it rotted and it fell out, so it's not on the ship.
Yeah, I think your intelligence went with it.
I guess we'll just sit and drink tea then.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Or you'll sit and drink tea. I'll just sit and watch you drink tea.
That's a bit creepy.
Yes, it will be 2 silver for the tea, as she brings over quite a large, hefty mug, obviously been carved out of wood. It's kind of like a stein, but filled with tea.
Oh my god, you sell these. Please tell me you sell these.
Well, not usually, but I'm sure I can.
How much?
Let's just call it a gold for the mug and the tea.
Down. Do you want a mug, Ozzy? Shall I get everyone a mug?
I don't drink anything, but I suppose I have been collecting souvenirs.
And we could have them all engraved. Pesto could engrave them for us. Can I buy 4 mugs, please? I'll give you 10 gold for it all.
I am happy for this, but could you please perhaps stay the night wherever? Doesn't have to be here, and let me get more mugs. If you take the mugs from me, people might want them, and you know.
Yeah. Well, we're stopping the night on our ship anyway. I can come back tomorrow and pick some up.
Come back in the morning. I'll get some more. You do not have to buy them here. There are plenty of shops that will sell you.
No. I like these ones. And she just hands over 10 gold.
Okay, that is very kind. I'll take your money when you take the mugs. But do know that I bought these mugs from the town.
Yeah, do you want them because they've been used, Niffy? Because it seems a bit strange.
No, because the reason why I want them because they've been used is because the wood soaks up the flavours. So it enhances the brews that are in them.
Like people's spit and stuff. You want backwash flavour?
No! Why would you ruin it like that? It enhances the flavours.
Okay. I mean, you're the chef, so I believe you. It's just a strange concept.
Okay, I'm glad you accept that. So these lemons aren't from winter, are they?
No, we are approaching winter as it comes. I mean, it does not make much difference when they are grown, but if it was from last winter, they would not have lasted.
Well, that's good, because the lemons of winter are not so sweet.
I see where you were trying to go with.
Wiping fake sweat off of his brow.
I am unsure as to why you did not say this before.
I like fucking around with him.
She said that she wanted to do it, so I didn't want to steal her thunder.
You appear to be on an older password. The current one is to be a wren is to know the flock.
To be a wren is to know the flock.
For all of our listeners, wren is a fun word because it has a silent W at the beginning. Isn't English fun?
Mm-hmm.
Even I felt that wrong then until you said that.
I'm not going to say that I said that because I thought you wouldn't know how to spell it.
As you say this, she pushes on one of the sets of shells behind her, which spins the entire thing around, the bottles going down behind, and a little board appears, very similar to the one you've seen before. And it's like, it is here. Pesto, would you like a drink?
Yeah. I don't remember what I got here last time.
What you got here last time? Well, you started with a water jasmine tea, but you were not too much of a fan. So we went over to a simple black tea, which you seem to enjoy more. But then the second day you were here, you had a fire mango smoothie, which you seem to enjoy a lot more.
Oh, that does sound good. Yeah, I'll have a fire mango smoothie.
Of course. Goes round behind, starts mixing some things, chopping up some fruits and stuff. Has this sort of like equivalent of a blender that she like puts the top on, leans away slightly, bashes the bottom of it, and it goes like flames sort of explode through it. And after it just leaves this kind of like slightly steaming liquid, grabs it, chucks a bunch of ice in it, shakes it around, and hands it over to you.
Yum.
Puts a straw in. You drink it, and you remember that it is this lovely, sweet kind of mango flavor, some tropical flavors in there, but it's hit with this massive undertone of kind of spice, but it's not painful because you're already getting a lot of soothing flavors, so you get this lovely spice undertone that's already calmed by the nice cold fruit.
Tasty.
The board is there for you to look at.
Oh.
I
Awesome.
required to show it to you, but I could not tell you much about it. I, of course, could take any proof that you owed money for a bounty you have completed, but it does not look like you have any heads or fingers or anything.
No.
Not yet. Who's on the board?
All of the names are the same. The only things that you would note that are different is that Whisperfang is now, the last scene has changed to the Macoris, and Captain 7, the last scene has changed to Demera Orlando. But the prices are the same, the people are the same.
Whisperfang was in Saron. He said in the chorus.
Yep. And yeah, Captain 7 is now in Demera Orlando, the place that you have commonly called Orlando.
Yeah.
Yep.
Captain 7 is in Orlando.
I was going to say we're not near there, are we? We're kind of inland, and it's on the other side of the coast. Right?
Yeah,
We
no.
have to sail around.
Demera Orlando, you would be very aware of Aussie because it is the city closest to and very right next to Fingleton.
Fingleton, yeah.
But it is very far away. That's like a few.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying we're on the wrong sort of.
Yeah,
we're coming in at the wrong angle, really, to kind of be anywhere near.
You're not even like that close to the Macoris. It would take just as long to get over to the Macoris, and then you'd have all the shittery of not being able to sail all the way to it because it's a bog, and your ship would end up getting stuck, and you'd have to get a boat out. So,
What's that? Steal a tender? We can do that.
Some chicken tendies. As you take your drinks and are sitting at the bar, taking a little sip, I'm sure you have a second one. You'd be charged, all in all, for all of your drinks, about $1 or so. There is this sudden, and I'm sure, Ozzy, you turn around, except the ready, a sudden panicked shuffling sound accompanied by the loud thud of a person collapsing to their knees in the entryway.
Yeah, I turn around mid-slurp.
Is this the equivalent of like a guy walking in a saloon doors and like they step on that one creaky alarm floorboard?
Well, you look over and you see a very injured man dressed in simple plate armor which has been crushed into his body, blood dripping out into the floor, a broken lantern in his hand. He's breathing heavy, but manages to gasp out a few words into the tavern. He says, "Please, help. My friends, they're stuck." You see the bartender rush over with a cup of water and help this man to his feet to help him shuffle over to a chair, which he heavily collapses into.
I will just wisp over a bit of like green energy to him and tether him to life. So if he was unstable or kind of zero HP, he is now stable, so he shouldn't die.
Not 0 HP, but he, takes a drink of the water, has seen this green, feels a little better, and says, "Thank you." Still wincing because, the metal is still obviously crushed into his body around his chest area. But as he drinks and looks over, he looks curiously, sort of looks around to see if there's any more of you, and just goes, "Adventurers?"
Who's asking?
I don't want to get into the whatever. I don't care. You look like you're the sort of people that can help. Can you help me? If you're not adventurers and there's going to be a legal problem, I can technically employ you and then I get you be a part of my crew. But my friends are trapped underground. They're in an underground tomb. I don't even know what attacked me. Jeff, please.
Sound fun?
I mean, there's nothing illegal about you giving us all the information that you have, and then we can sort out anything else afterwards.
Listen, at this point, I'm very tentative about lacking the Adventurers Guild, but I'll get into that later. Details.
Sounds like
Sorry.
we can help then.
Just let me get my bearings straight on this one. We were sent out here on a mission to find some ancient artifacts in the tombs below the lake. It seemed so easy, so we're all eager to get it done, but by the gods, were we wrong. I'll break it down simple. There's a tomb under the lake, some old burial site or something, and the real entrance is out on the northern side of the lake, all sealed up, or at least that's what we're told, but there were reports that there was bubbles coming from the center of the lake, so we thought we'd investigate, and we found a crack in the rocks below the silt, which obviously we broke open, which revealed an old tunnel, which was definitely part of the tomb. I mean, I say tomb, it's more like a labyrinth down there, like a catacomb of some kind, long forgotten, and sealed for a good reason. Anyway, as we were scrambling inside, trying to get past the flow of water, I managed to smash my lantern against the rocks, and I broke it. It just sort of chucks that out on the floor. And we figured it wasn't the end of the world, since Denon, one of the guys, has dark vision, and we thought we could just feel our way along, so we sealed off the hole with some rocks to stop the water coming in, and set off into the dark, hoping to happen across some kind of treasure. Well, we heard some kind of noise following us along, and figured that if it's behind us, we shouldn't double back, and kept moving, but before I knew it, something attacked us, and I don't even know what happened. I got out of there real fast, running back the way we came, and when I felt the water under my feet, I knew I was close to where I came in, so I found the rocks, broke them out, swam back up, but in my rush, I was squeezing through the hole I made. I must have hit the rocks too much, because they definitely collapsed behind me. I've got no idea what's happened to the others. I can't get back down there. I certainly can't do anything on my own. And I don't even give a fuck about the treasure or anything. Whatever's in there, you can have it. I just want to save them.
Sounds fun. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Have they got a PAL drone?
It'll be down there. I mean, like I said, I don't know what's left down there. We took the PAL drone with us, but it didn't come out with me.
What? And which guild are you from?
The Fellowship of the Verdant Flame.
Alright. And what are their names?
Right, so, sorry. I'm Vern. there's Aaliyah, Denon, and Lurie.
And could you give us a brief rundown of what they look like and their roles within your party?
Yeah, so I'm the leader. I've got Miss Sword, which just sort of points at his side. There's a little, I don't know what kind of. It's kind of shorter than a long sword, but it is like a two-handed sword. I'm the leader. I usually sort of take charge of all this. Olea, halfling, piercing blue eyes, very good with traps and things, kind of roguish, traps, sneaking around, getting information, that kind of stuff. There's Denon, big old half-orc fucker, cleric, so, healing us. Was a herbalist, but good with that kind of magic. And then Lurie is, they like to think that they're our bardic support with their, rapier, and that they're just rich. They fund a lot of what we do. So,
Do this class as a guild do anything that sucks yet?
They seem to suck at their job. I don't think that counts, though.
Damn it.
The guild has not been shitty. These people are bad at being adventurous, it sounds like.
What guild are they from again?
The Fellowship of the Ring.
The Fellowship of the Verdant Flame.
Verdant, that's it. Thank you.
Fellowship of the Burning Ring.
Yep.
Post curry.
Yep. Post fire mango smoothies.
What are you able to tell us about the creature who attacked you?
Literally nothing. I couldn't see a thing down there because I can't see anything. The torch was the lantern was supposed to help with that. So we were just going by Denon's, eyes. But he didn't say anything. And then I was attacked and I just ran. So.
Pesto, are you able to take a look at this gentleman's armor and see if you're able to tell what it was that impacted him? Like if it was like a weapon or a large paw or something?
I can certainly give it a go. Can I investigate? Or Arcana or Nature to try to figure out what that may have been?
Yeah, either Nature or Medicine.
Okay.
I can assist you with either. I am proficient in Nature, if that helps.
I can't assist you with anything.
I've got a +4. So yeah, I'll take the assist.
Assist.
Very nice. That's a 22.
22. Yeah. So you have a little look, and you can see as you get closer to this armor, which has been crushed in. At first, you would have maybe thought that it was like a big fist or hand crushing or crimping in, or like a mouth biting. But you notice that there's no like pinpoint locations that would be claws or teeth or anything like that, which implies that this wasn't a grabbing or grasping force. It was more of like an impact that just crushed in the metal, which of course then pierced into the body, sheared the metal a little bit, but it wasn't pierced through.
So something like a force burst or something?
It's something that seemed to be very forceful, but obviously you can't tell much more from that.
I've only got like 2. I've got 3 questions. Does anyone else have any other questions first, though?
So you said that the place you ran from caved in. Do you think that'd be a bad place to try to enter from now then? Or think we have a better chance trying the northern passage?
I mean, I don't know if you'd be able to find it. I can point generally, but we were looking at bubbles last time, and I don't know if there's any coming out. Then we went in there and got attacked, although it was further down the corridors, so who knows. We were prepared to block up the hole because we knew the water would be coming in, so if you're not, that place will flood real fast.
I don't think that'll be a problem for us. We have gear.
It's up to you then, really. I know there is an entrance up the north, so I don't know if it'd be faster to travel up there or try to find this entrance, but I can't promise that I know exactly where it is. Like, I'll try and help, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to wave you in a different direction, but
like we can probably break in from the water as well. So
yeah, you have your
doesn't have to.
So yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. So it's not currently flooded. either or on the entrance. You mentioned about having a member of your party who's good at traps. Did you come across any traps?
I mean, no traps were set off. They were looking, but again, it's dark, so mostly just feeling around. But we didn't. Well, unless what attacked us were a trap. There wasn't anything like spikes or javelins or poisons or anything.
Right.
What can I try to get the armor not going?
Yeah, are you going to do that
So,
magically, or are you going to try and do that with your hands?
I want to turn my all-purpose tool into one of those suction cup things that
A plunger.
Yeah, so if there's a dent in a car
Sure.
or something.
I would say you would know before you even try. You could certainly suction or try to suction something to it. You would not have the strength to pull this out, but Ozzy might.
Yeah, I'll just do that and then stick it on good and secure. Ozzy, can you give us a pull?
Give me a sleight of hand to try and get it in a position that actually gets a suction cup.
Sure. Should not be an issue. So 22.
22, and then Ozzy, give me an athletics to try and yank this metal out.
17.
17. 17 is enough to at least shift it, not all the way back to a normal shape, but you push against it, yank, and it just sort of comes outwards, and there's just this splat of blood and stuff comes out from the gaps as whatever the pressure that was holding in some blood just starts gushing outwards, and he screams, obviously in the pain of this being ripped out.
All right, now drink this, and I give him my or I speak into my thing, health potion, and it turns into a health potion. I could
just immediately downs it, and it starts the blood starts stopping. The blood stops starting.
Coagulating.
Exactly. Evidently still very injured, but no longer splatting blood all over the floor.
Okay. Right, so we have objective. We have two objectives. Primary objective. Treasure in the burial sites. Secondary objective. Rescue the terrible adventurers.
Or bring the remains back.
Yes, or kill them and say that they were dead by the time we got there.
Purdy, mark it.
You're so right, Pesto. So, point of entry, what do we want to try and go for? Do we want to try and break in through the underwater, or do we want to go through this entrance?
I can weigh in slightly if you would like me to. This is the barkeep.
Yeah, sure.
Whoa, she's joined us above the table. Crazy.
I kind of think you were doing a half and half. Or she just starts talking then if you weren't talking about it. And
she turns to face a wall that we can't see and addresses us, the players.
The stuff we don't want them to hear, they don't hear. The stuff we do want them to hear, they do.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how you can talk better.
Yeah.
She says, in terms of finding something in the middle of the lake, if there are no bubbles, you will spend a long time doing it. I don't think it would take much less time to get a boat and just go off north. I know where the entrance probably is, or at least in the area. I have not been there, but it is known, hidden, not intentionally, just by time. But I could direct close enough to where you would need to go. I mean, you could ask anybody around here. Possibly a couple gold. They might just be kind enough to let you borrow a boat or just take you up. There's a ferry that goes across. Some people have some faster boats if you wish to go. I reckon from the port it would only take maybe an hour on a good boat just to get across. And then maybe 20 minutes to walk to the entrance. It is close.
All right.
The time you would waste, well, unless you have some way of locating very quickly the old entrance or seeing through the rock to see the tombs. I do not think it gets close to the bottom of the lake too often, but a lot of what I have in my head is myths and secrets of catacombs that no one has been in for hundreds of years.
All
right. Main entrance then?
Yeah,
main entrance
sounds good. We got directions.
Yeah, it just takes Niffy. I'm sure you have a little map, or you've been sort of made one of the local areas. There's a little mark on where the entrance, or at least a circle around the area that it supposedly is. It just says, "I'm not going to promise it is here, but a lot of people have talked about this kind of thing for a long time." So,
what? I suppose we should head over to Tweet then.
Vaughn just looks up and is like, I'm not going to pretend I'm going to be helpful in my current condition, but if you want me to come along, I can do. I would
mean-
need healing of some kind more than I currently have.
Probably best if you stay here and rest.
What, can you, like, give us something of yours? Like a token for us to show your friends, assuming that they're still alive,
yeah,
so that
of
they,
course.
like, know that we were sent by you?
Take my sword. The hilt is custom. It has our little logo in the pommel.
Right, and what does that look like?
It's a flame that has around the edge. So the pommel is like one of those flat coin-like pommels, and it has a flame in the center, and then around the edge says the Fellowship with the Verdant Flame.
Right.
It's quite a nice sword. You're assuming coming from the money of their region.
Do it appear magical?
I don't. How are you checking?
Like, does it glow? Is there an orc near and it's glowing blue?
Does it say hello? Thank you for touching me.
There are no obvious magical traits. You could potentially.
I take it out of the sheath and does it go, oh!
You take it out and it goes, oh, for fuck's sake, what am I doing here?
Oh, do you know that's true? We could totally pass on the cursed voice
No,
thing.
it's that.
How
they're a
funny would
gift
that
for
be?
my mom.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot that you wanted to
muted.
put the sword in the stone, and that they would talk to each other.
Yeah.
He hands that to you and says, that should be enough for them to believe you. I mean, to be honest, if you're saving them, I don't think they're going to give a fuck who you are.
Oh, you know, just in case they, like, try and kill us or something. In case they've been, like, mind-controlled.
True.
Mind control. It probably.
I would
matter.
prefer if you try not to kill them, but I would understand,
Oh,
the
yeah, well, this
adventure
is, of course, this is a rescue mission. So, we'll try and do our best.
Thank you.
Right, are you ready?
Um,
Everyone ready to go? Everyone picked?
Hold on. I
Has
just need to
everyone been
finish
to the
my smoothie.
bathroom? Okay, finish your smoothie. Niffy, you always need to go to the bathroom at a bad time, so do you want to go now?
No, I'm good. I don't need to go.
Right? Is Pumpkin gone toilet?
Pumpkin will go to toilet outside.
You go pee-pee? You need to go pee-pee?
Right? We haven't got any snacks packed, but I suppose if it's just going to be a short trip, then we shouldn't need one.
I got brownies!
We haven't got any snacks packed.
I've literally just said I've got brownies. That is so fucking rude.
Oh, did you want to offer one to Varn?
Oh yeah, do you want a brownie?
It might help with your pain.
I don't really think now's the time.
I mean, I can't guarantee it will help with your pain.
It's a brownie.
So I said
Yeah,
might.
exactly.
It's a herbal brownie.
No, this is a brownie.
Oh, really?
Oh. I don't believe you.
Why don't you have one and find out?
Okay.
I can't eat. I don't have a stomach.
I will give Pesto just a normal brownie.
Oh.
Tasty. You don't know if
Pretty
it is
good.
or isn't because it would take a few to affect you anyway. So.
Oh, you can taste it. Unless Niffy is a terrible cook, you can taste it.
No, not always.
If it's like a really low dosage.
Oh, maybe.
You exit out of the tavern or the inn, heading out towards the north of the city, town, most likely. Now, you were told that you could potentially get a boat of some kind. You're welcome to try and use your boat, although that is quite a hassle to get that north. It would take maybe a couple hours on your vessel because it's across a river and you've got to get the sails going and such. It would, of course, be faster just to get a ferry or see if you can pay someone to take you over there. It's really up to you.
How fast to just swim?
Oh, I mean, a lot longer. It is a long distance. A few hours, maybe half a day.
Okay.
Like
Even
the
with our
boat's
super fast cloaks.
It would still take longer than manning a boat. It is possible to do so. It would just take quite a while. It's also very dark.
Barkeeper lady.
Yeah.
Does she have any recommendations? A favor she can call in with someone?
Not to put this in a rude way, but I don't know why I would pull a favor for you.
I mean, it was more so that those people would survive, but that's okay.
even if I were to getting a favor, I would have to find someone, communicate, talk to them about the situation. If you are trying to be quick, then it would be much faster just to go to the northern docks and find someone.
Right.
Throw some gold at someone, they will happily take the hour's trip. They're probably going over anyway.
Alright, let's do that then. And if someone doesn't want to give us their boat, then we can just take them.
You head north through the town. It takes about half an hour to get up to the docks, and your boat still bobbing gently. There's plenty of little boats around, yes?
Paldrone has come out of the bag of holding, Ryan?
Has it?
No, I'm asking you.
Do we want it to?
Well, they're adventurers, so the other guy was cool.
We are or not.
The other guy didn't. We don't know about the other people.
Sure, I'll pull it out before we get to the docks.
Cool.
You take out the power drop as it tries to. I know that Discord doesn't pick it up anymore. With the. It's just pluttering along beside you. You haven't managed to pull the inners out the other one yet. And yeah, you get up to the docks, of which there are plenty of boats around, many of them unmanned, tied up. You do not know if they have security systems or not. There is your boat, of course, bobbing. There are no other large boats currently there. There are a couple people sort of drinking on their verandas or just on the docks, chatting and laughing away, seemingly an evening, just relaxing after a hard day. A couple people are in boats, but again, they're having some drinks. None of these are alcoholic, of course. No one's getting drunk because that is not allowed. They're just having various teas, coffee, or maybe coffees at this point, fruit juices. Some of them seem to be like warm kind of the equivalent of mulled wine, except of course not wine. Spiced teas, I guess.
Mulled grape juice.
Yes, mulled unfermented grape juice.
All right, who's going to try to strike a deal? It's not going to be me. I suck at talking and asking.
Do you want to do it?
I was actually going to say, I think people find you the least objectionable, but Niffy,
really?
Do you think you can work some of your charms?
I can try.
All right, great.
Hey, has anyone got a boat we can rent?
A lot of people look over at you and are just like confused because there's so many boats around, but no one like particularly perks up to answer.
No one? Not even to help people out? Huh. Yeah, no one's got a boat.
This would be where Pesto would remember the not particularly active helpfulness of the people around here.
Sorry, Oz, no one's got a boat for us.
All right. It's a shame nobody wants any money to take us where this lady says.
As you start talking, Ozzy, there's one particular tabaxi flicks over her head and just you hear shouting out from the distance away from you this voice that goes, "Oh fuck me! Is that a Fingleton accent I recognise?"
Oh, is there someone here from Fingleton?
Fucking yes, there is.
It's been fucking ages since I heard that. Is crocky.
This tabaxi just like struggles out of the boat and just like wanders over, just like, "Fuck me! It's been ages."
Oh, that's great. Oh, how long have you been in this part of the world?
Not too long, about 6 months. Just sort of testing,
that's nice.
testing the waters, eh?
I see what you did there. Right, great.
Yeah. Are you looking for a boat?
Oh yeah, we're trying to get to this like temple entrance thing.
Fucking truth, mate. Sure. I mean, I can get you over there. I'm supposed to be going over anyway.
Oh, great. Can we take along?
Yeah, just hop in. Talk about Fingleton.
Oh, great. Well, hang on. First of all, mates rates, and I will give them 5 gold.
Oh, no, I mean, too kind, and just hand you back 1 gold. A recognizable thing of Fingleton that if you always overpay and they always give you some back.
Right, great. So as we go, I will ask about. Hang on, I've got to get up. Find the bit.
Yeah, well, you go over to a boat. It's one of those like much longer fishing boats, which has a single sort of engine at the back. It's a very small version of this kind of airship engine that sort of splutters to life when he rips a cord, and then eventually slams it and gets it. As you just sort of ready to cruise along, get into this boat. Stinks a little bit of fish, but it's fine. It works.
The price we pay is having to hear these accents going.
I enjoy this accent.
Has my new best friend given me their name?
They have not. Their name is going to be Newsy.
Newsy, fucking A. That's a great name.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah,
it's
family
like a
name.
Theme park.
Oh, you wouldn't have been related to
Newsy no.
Oh, what was her name back when I was a kid? Her name was Sheila Newsy.
Yela. Yeah, my cousin.
The cousin. Fuck, mate, you must look great for your age because that was like 100 years ago.
Yeah, I do. Or you might be talking about my cousin's great grandmother.
Oh, do you know that makes sense?
They've all got the same name.
Oh yeah, well, I was named after my father,
Yeah, me too.
so it makes sense.
Oh no, I wasn't named after your father. I was named after my father.
Oh well, that makes sense too. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be weird if I wasn't.
So what's your first name?
Newsy.
Newsy?
Oh, you just said it was a family name, so I assumed it was your surname.
Ah, mate. Newsy. Family name's Land.
New Zealand. Love it. Great name. Great strong name.
How long? Years.
Oh yeah, it's probably a bit longer now.
Crikey. What brings you over here then?
Oh, we're headed up to like Moonhaven for a bit.
Um,
There was some like grove nearby that our like technician wanted to go and have a look at. He's been there before.
Lovely.
He wanted to go back and show all of us. He's got some
no
family
idea.
in the area, which I didn't really understand, if I'm being totally honest.
yeah, right.
Have you come here from Fingleton like 6 months ago, or have you been travelling around yourself?
No, yeah.
Nowhere, yeah.
I went through Merrow, down Brent, you know. Travelled over. Got a bit bored. Thought I'd stay here for a bit.
Oh yeah, it makes sense. Although this place does seem a little boring as well.
Yeah.
But you know, you got to make a living wherever you can, can't
What?
you?
Yeah, do what I can. You know, fishing.
Oh man, that takes me back. I used to be like a fisher's kid, going into the family business back in Fingleton.
All right, Aussie the Fisher, Ozymandias.
Oh no, Ozymandias is my name, but it's not like that wasn't my name when I was in Fingleton. Like I'm not named after my father. Wasn't Ozymandias. He was Ramsey.
Right.
Wait, so your real name's Ramsey?
No, I don't know that.
Oh yeah, Ozymandias was the name that I was given when I joined that old crew I was part of. My real name's Ramsey Sampson.
Ramsey Simpson.
Well, Ramsey Sampson the second. I don't suppose you know of any Sampsons still living in Fingleton?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, great.
Human.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, live in the house with like the little bit on the side.
Oh no, that's great. Because my mum, I had to leave my mum there. It wasn't really my choice to go.
Oh, right.
But that's nice. I wonder if she remarried. I never really went back to check.
I don't know if she's 100 years ago.
Wait, so you're called Randy?
Randy? Oh, that'd be silly.
No, I don't know a Randy.
That'd be crazy.
What
Ramsey.
was it?
Ramsey.
Ramsey.
Ramsey Sampson the second.
Yeah.
And my father was Ramsey.
The first?
Well, yeah, but only like after I came along.
Huh.
Which you shouldn't get confused with the Ramsey the Fist, who live nearby. You've all gone silent for some reason.
You two okay? You're looking a bit strange, and you always look a little bit strange, but you're looking a bit stranger.
I'm being exposed to a lot of culture right now.
Your real name's Ramsey?
Yes.
Oh yeah, great culture.
I mean, Fingleton's just like a little place, but people from there is just it's a very tight knit community.
You guys really make it seem like it's a bigger place than the small place you're saying it is.
Oh, everyone knows everyone.
I don't know everyone. Who's everyone?
There's like a celebration every year where the whole village gets together, and there's like a little ceremony around the statue of Commander Fingleton.
Yes.
Commander Fingleton.
Oh yeah, Commander Fingleton founded the place.
Yeah. Started in an orchard, so there's like a big orchard. Well, there was. I don't know if it's still there. I
it's
assume
still
it's still there.
Much bigger.
What do they grow in this orchard?
Like a whole fuckload of stuff.
What's their main export?
I mean, it was apples. It's like
Lots of apples, pears,
like
cherries.
usually what you find in an orchard.
Mate, your friends are
You bet.
strange.
Yeah, I mean, like
I'm strange.
this one was raised by a boulder, and this
All right.
one has a pet dragon. So it's it's all a bit
All right,
it's all a bit up in the air.
that's pretty cool. Got a pit dragon.
Yeah,
Where?
having a pet
Looks
dragon's
up.
cool.
It's like, trust me, it's not as awesome as it sounds.
That's pretty fucking awesome to have a dragon.
Oh, maybe if you meet it, you'll understand.
Oh, maybe one day.
It's like, like the awkward stage of like growing out a haircut.
All right.
Pumpkin's amazing.
It's like that, but
Don't
it's a dragon.
even.
Pumpkin's a little dopey. I love him, but he's a little dopey.
I mean,
Oh, I wish the captain was here and I could introduce you, but he kind of met a ghost and walked into a wall, so he's not here.
All right, makes sense.
and you call
I
us
hope-
weird.
Tell you what, if you see a guy, he might not be a guy, he might be a girl, or
I've seen a
anything
guy.
else in between like, from day to day. He'll likely stop. Oh no, he'd have to get out here because it's a floating town.
Yeah, it is.
If you see a guy, he's wearing a mask, and next day you see someone else wearing the same mask, but it might not be the same build or height. That's the captain.
All right.
It's called Montgomery. So if you just tell him that we're headed to Moonhaven, that'd be fucking great.
His name's actually Simon.
Yeah, but we always call him Monty.
Yeah, it's just his name isn't Montgomery. It's Simon de Montfort Smith Smythe.
Oh,
Are we
dear.
just now realizing how difficult it is to find the captain? Because of the way that they are?
Yeah.
So I gave a very specific, vague description.
If I see a guy with a mask, and then a different guy.
The next
with a
day, he
mask.
might not be a guy.
All right. Yeah. All right, well, it looks like the show's coming up.
Oh, sick.
Reaper.
Awesome. Great.
All right, time goes so quickly. I feel like it's been an hour.
Do you know what? I might think about like putting in a request for some shore leave and heading back to Fingleton if it's like right. Everything all right? No, like major disasters in the last 100 years or anything like that.
You know what I think of?
Oh, great.
It'd be such a shame to see you go, Ozzy.
You know, like problems with adventurers. Classic.
Oh, right.
Well, not like problems, just like fucking everywhere, you know?
Oh, well, yeah, but that's the same all over.
Oh, yeah, like,
yeah.
no offense and stuff.
Oh, no, that's fine. We
lot of
just did a
offense
job where
taken.
we had to fucking clean up after some adventurers who were actually like not
All right.
adventuring, but like killing kids and stuff, summoning demons.
Oh, no, that's not good.
No, it was pretty bad.
What'd you do now?
We're cleaning up after some adventurers.
All right, is that like what you do?
Yeah, well, it seems like that's kind of what we're having to do at the moment.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
The adventure cleanup service.
Yeah, no, they're all quite useless.
Axe.
There's too many of them.
Well, it's just like there's too many of them and they're being a bit rowdy, or is there like jobs that they're not doing?
Oh, no, not rowdy, just like bad.
Incompetent.
Also, there's like bad stuff happening and they're not really doing anything about it.
Yeah, not good at it. There was this last time I was there was this like problem with like bears, except it was like bear cubs, and adventuring group went out there. One of the adventurers managed to die, and then the other adventurers killed both the bear cubs when it was actually a recovery mission. So,
Damn.
Just for some fucking beer cups. That's like amateur shit.
right?
This is what is wrong with adventuring.
I might like. No, I'd get in trouble if I killed them.
Yeah, probably.
I might swing by. Do you want me to like say anything to your family? Pass on any messages if I'm there?
Yeah,
before
no,
you?
yeah. You can if you
Yes
if
or
you
no?
before me.
Yeah, it's like a highly localized idiom. It's part of our dialect.
yeah. Like if you're there before me, sure. But like if I get there before you, do you want me to pass on a message?
Oh yeah, well my mother, there's like no way that mum's still going to be alive. But if you could like look into Sheila Sampson and if any living relatives that she's got, and just let them know that her son is like sort of. I wouldn't use the phrase alive and well, but he's like he's doing okay.
All right.
Pretty spry for his age, and he might pop by if that's all right.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, do I?
You mean
Do I have
Yeah,
anything
yeah.
on my person to give him that would be? I'm out of
Yeah,
Ghostlight
yeah.
stones. Damn
I've
it!
got one.
But they're so valuable. I can't ask you to give it up.
No, you can have it. You can take it. Don't worry. If it helps you out, Ozzy, you can take it.
Well, we
hang
are
on.
actually about to go
Fine.
someplace pretty dark, so we may actually need that.
yeah, we're about to need them.
And also, would does Mom even know what a ghostlight stone is?
I'm gonna give him one of my old glass eyes.
Oh yeah, thanks. What's this for?
Just tell them that belongs to me, and like I might be able to find them through that. So I guess if they
Yeah,
don't
alright.
want it, they should just like toss it in the ocean, or like
Yeah,
if they
alright.
don't want me to swing by, they can just toss it in the ocean. But like I might come by, and that'll help me find them.
I'll give you my eyeball, but takes off a pendant necklace, which it's just like an anchor. It's like same thing.
Excellent.
It's just a very simple metal anchor shape.
Excellent.
All right. Well, it was great meeting you.
Oh yeah, and you. I mean, like we might be coming back in a bit. How long are you going to be here?
All right, I can wait. It's all right.
Well, we don't know how long it's going to be. So, like, I tell you what.
Oh, that's fine.
Are you good? Are you likely to be here for the next like 8 hours or so?
Can be. I'm waiting to give you a package to go back across to the town, but you know, you're not going to want it till the morning anyway.
Oh, if that's no bother. I tell you what. Like, if you could wait like the 8 hours, if that's convenient or not too
Wait till the morning.
inconvenient for you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you wait till morning, then if we're not back by then, then like just go without us. That'd be great.
You might be sleeping though, so like if I'm sleeping, wake me up. If I was sleeping and someone killed me, then sucks, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like avenge me and stuff.
Cool.
Oh yeah, well if you could like write any information about your attacker in blood on the
Yeah,
ground
like I'll
next to you,
do my
that'd be
blood
super
or
helpful.
in the sand or something. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant, great. Right, well in that case, hopefully see you in a bit.
Understand.
Yeah. You know. Yeah. No. Yeah.
I don't understand what you did.
Yes or no?
You know. No. Yeah. You know. No. Yeah.
Right, are you two ready to go?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah. Nah.
Yeah, now you're getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah,
Well,
no.
let's bounce.
Boing, boing, boing.
I think Niffy literally bounced along. Come on then!
As you fade away, or should I say, he sort of fades away into the background. You sure you don't want him along as like your new party member?
Yes.
Nah.
Yeah, no, yeah.
There's only room for one permanent accent here. Right now, he's a new friend. If he stays around, he becomes a new rival.
What a
Or
marvel.
your backup character.
That's true. I did enjoy playing a Tabaxi.
Mm-hmm. And I gave so few descriptions. You can describe him however you want.
I was really hoping you were going to say that the orchard grew Bartlett pears.
Oh, yeah.
It's in the wrong area.
Okay.
I mean, Bartlett's legacy was like taverns with teleporters everywhere, so you know.
Yeah.
Which then got turned into like teleportation stations with capitalism overtaking the world. But you know.
Boo.
He enabled the wonderful world we inhabit.
Kinda. Anyway, it's about a 20-minute walk into. How are you going to try and find this entrance?
With the directions that the barkeep.
You have a general area that you can walk to. Are you then just going to search around for a bit, or
Send out Olive.
I thought she said she knew where it was.
no? She said she knew the general area, which is not like a massive area, so she circled a bit on the map, but it's still.
Okay.
It would take about an hour or so to search around it.
I'll release the toys. At least the fast ones.
Then give me an investigation with advantage because the toys are looking around.
Yippee! 24.
24. Very quickly, about 10 minutes, one of the flying toys alerts that there's something, this sort of like odd-shaped lump in the ground that you move over towards, and as you push through the damp, overgrown forest on the northern bank of Lake Farry, the air grows still, muffled by moss and the thick canopy above. At first, you see nothing but twisted trees and a shallow rise of earth tangled with roots, but then, just ahead, something catches your eye, a faint, unnatural shape in the landscape that was highlighted by whoever it was, whichever one of the two flyers that saw it.
That, you know what? Let's give Pine Nut their time to shine with their newfound wings.
Half buried in the slope is a crumbling stone arch, choked in ivy and moss. At first glance, it looks a little bit like nothing, maybe an old retaining wall or a fallen cairn, but the angles are too clean, too deliberate, and as you draw closer, you can just make out where heavy doors once fit flush into the stone. Now, of course, they are sunken beneath layers of earth and time, sealed tight by decades of forest debris. Ancient carvings once traced the arch's keystone, but now they're worn nearly flat, eroded by weather, or perhaps deliberately scratched out. But a few runes remain, cracked, illegible, but old enough to prickle something instinctual. A quiet wrongness. The air here is cooler, despite the lack of breeze, and you notice how the birds aren't singing nearby. And every step closer feels like stepping into a memory that doesn't belong to you, one sealed away for a reason.
Well, there's treasure in here, right? So, Ozzy, get out that adamantine pick and let's get to work.
Too right.
Yeah, you just start ripping at these stone doors and it doesn't take very long to smash them to pieces.
Oh, this didn't have, like, local, like, religious significance, did it?
If it did, it's been too long for it to matter.
Right.
Breaking open the seal reveals the entrance immediately descends into the dark depths of the earth. The passageway seems to be a long set of steps, the end of which you cannot see, but what you can see are two things in particular. Number one, the passageway is low, only around 4 feet tall. And two, the steps are old and very broken, meaning traversal would be dangerous. In the sense of, you could slip and fall down a bunch of stairs.
I'd take out my hoverboard and descend with that, rather than...
Yeah, you'd struggle to, like, not have to curl over. Ozzy, you'd probably have to go backwards because you wouldn't be able to crouch over to take the steps normally. It'd be more like a weird ladder for you. Niffy, probably more comfortably, you'd have to go backwards as well.
Damn it.
I could probably just lay down on the board and...
I'm not saying you can't do it, it's just, it's not comfortable, and you're, like, looking at stone the whole way. You can't get into a position where you can see, like, actively down the tunnel particularly well. You can, like, lean up and look around and such, but again, it's very dark. I presume you have dark vision. Most of the animal kind do.
I do. 60 feet.
So
I also
you
have the
can
ghost light
see...
stone that I want to have out.
Yeah, I'll use my ghost light stone.
I'm going to cast the light cantrip, ghostly glow on one
your
of the
others.
eyeballs that I have in.
So there's enough light to see quite far down, but this just descends down and down and down. As you descend down, it seems to go on forever, the air quickly turning stale and musty, as if it has sat undisturbed for a long time. I guess, Ozzy, you wouldn't know this because you don't breathe. Eventually, this monotonous staircase flattens out to a rocky floor that splits into two different paths. The corridor is small and tight, making it hard to traverse, and what makes it worse is the walls are layers and layers of old corpses, all set into thin shelves preserved many years ago. The smell is not that of rotting corpses. It seems these bodies were sealed away long ago, but the air is still thick and difficult to breathe.
I'm also going to cast Aid on the three of us, so we all have 5, or max HP increased by 5.
Oh, sure.
Nice.
So, yeah, you enter into these catacombs below. The walls, as I've said, are rock with these lots and lots of... have any of you been to a catacomb anywhere in the world before?
I have been to a cave system.
No, but I've seen movies.
Okay. So, in those, it's just like the walls... So I went to one, I think it was Sicily. The walls are just shelves and shelves of fucking dead people. It's really weird. But this is more into natural rock than, like, built tunnels. So the bits that you can see, they're all craggly and rocky, but at some point someone's carved in. But the bodies aren't, like, gracefully placed with a lot of space around them. There's just enough space to fit each of the bodies. So there's, like, 5 or 6 of them stacked on top of each other the whole way down. None of them have any names or plates or anything to recognize them. They just kind of exist. It is very cool down here. Slightly, it's kind of dry air, as the moisture hasn't really got down here for a long time. Like I said, the air is very thick, and all of your footsteps and voices echo quite a lot through the hallways with little other sound appearing.
I have both Pine Nut and Olive on my shoulders now, since they can both fly. They'll both be useful.
Sure. Yeah, so the corridors are obviously thin enough that you can move through them.
What do I see when I move up here?
When you move up, so you move up to this junction, you can see that part of it goes south, part of it goes a sort of northwesternly direction. And as you look up this northwestern area, you see another junction. There are some steps in front of you. They're seemingly partially natural, partially it's like someone took advantage of the natural slopes and rocks to create some more easily traversable more easily traversable steps. And that south bit you can see as well. I'll just reveal a lot more sort of steps, just meaning that these gradients going down into the tunnels are a little easier to traverse.
Well, do we want to like follow any approach with these, or just go?
Just go.
We should try and see if we can use any kind of sound cues or anything. Let's see if echoes from a direction.
Sorry, but I couldn't.
Not that kind of echo.
All right, well, let's go this way, up to the northwest. Actually, no, because the lake is south and they were in the middle of the lake, or close to there. So let's go south instead.
Okay. You start traveling south and you can see that it curves round to the west and it reveals it's just more corridor. You keep moving through. Where you stopped there...
It's getting real tight up here.
Yeah, where you stop there's a very thin section. For you, Pesto, that's fairly easy to get through. But for Ozzy, it's a bit more of a tight squeeze. It would be difficult terrain for you. You squeeze through. Yeah, squeeze on through. And you get through to the first part that opens up just a little bit more than the rest. It's not a massive area that gives you lots of space to breathe, but you can see that it's another branching path to the north and to the southwest. There's just a little bit more space for you to stand inside of. A couple of you can stand there. It's no more than about 10 feet, though.
Ozzy, did you want to be in front?
Oh, I mean, I don't particularly mind. If you are worried about there being a big monster coming to eat your face, and you would prefer me to be in front of you, I could do that. But if you feel confident leading the way, I don't want to stop you.
As you're discussing, and as we come to the end of the session, let's just do this on a roll so it can be random. Pesto. All of you hear a bit of like a wind starts to pick up. Odd, because there's nowhere that wind can come from. You hear like a wind sound starts coming from just down a corridor up ahead. Before Pesto and only Pesto feels this, the rest of you don't feel anything, as a gust slams you in the chest and you're just thrown into the wall. Straight into the wall. You take 4 damage as you just bam straight into the rocks and fall to the ground. And as quickly as it came, the wind just... and that's it.
The fuck are you doing, Pesto?
Something hit me. There's literally nothing I could do.
And as you get hit in the face, we will end up the session. A little earlier than usual, I apologise, but...
Excellent.
I dislike when saves.
I know. It's a bit mean, wasn't it?
It's very mean.
Well...
Good session, everyone. Thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you.
Oh, Alex.
Everyone remember to watch Eurovision and support Mark being too sexy for his skirt.
I will not be watching. So uninterested.
If you're not in Europe...
I would not be interested even if I were.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think you should be more interested because you're not in Europe. I think it will be... You said about being immersed in culture this session? This will immerse you in European culture.
It was not an affectionate immersion in culture.
Alright,
It was a
bye!
begrudging.
Boy.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Magic Myths and Mayhem. Thank you to Dark Fantasy Studio and Nicolas Jeudy and Ovani for the use of their music in this episode. And a big thanks to you for listening. If you want to hear more behind the scenes content, alongside extra art and lore, please consider joining our Patreon by searching Magic Myths and Mayhem on patreon.com, or watch our extra content and games on twitch.com. For now, thank you for being here, and we look forward to seeing you next time. I'll see you then.
Bing,
Bing.
bing,
Bing.
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 Bong.
Bong.